Kia ora, good afternoon. Welcome to this Audit and Risk Committee meeting. Call for apologies, which we have none because everyone is here. So any extraordinary business? No. Declarations of interest? No. Confirmation of minutes. Minutes there on page 3. All happy? Someone like to move? Murray and Richard. All those in favour, please say aye. Carried, thank you. I'll hand over to Leanne for our risk pool.
Kia ora, good afternoon. So I will take the paper as read. It is very much a paper for information, but also for us to be aware that we have this ongoing liability. Happy to take questions.
Any questions, councillors? Councillor Cameron.
So it does, correct me if I'm wrong, because I find the whole thing a bit tricky to get around, but it basically says that we have an outstanding liability, but they cannot tell us what that is.
Correct.
Is that correct? When is the ETA for knowing when that liability is?
When they finally settle all the claims, and I don't have a time frame for that. They continually work through it.
But our proportion of that is small, isn't it?
Small, and the last time we had to do a settlement, it was around the 24.2k, last time they called on us. But I don't know the quantum of this
claim?
No.
So they don't inform you of that?
They can't. They're working through the process.
Oh, okay, so they haven't given you any sort of a heads up. Okay.
No, sorry.
Thank you. Yeah, no, I understood it. Thank you.
So how many claims have they got, and when will our liability cease? Do you know?
I think off the top of my head there's about half a dozen claims, but the liability cannot cease until they've settled all of those claims, and that's the challenge. They had thought, I mean, this has been in progress now for 6 years. They've been trying to wind down, and they've had some new ones come out of the woodwork, and that's the problem. They're liable.
Well, that was my next question. How new ones coming out? How long can they keep coming out of the woodwork for?
I can't answer that. I'm sorry.
Any further questions? If not, there's a recommendation there on page 5.
Sorry, Mr. Chair, I was just picking up on that question that the Mayor just asked. Can we ask Risk Pool what the answer to that is? It would be good to actually understand, if we could, how long this goes on, just get a bit more context. I'm not sure. I mean, I understand we can't quantify, but we might at least understand how long we're on the hook for in terms of future liability.
Happy to take that back to them. Certainly, I'll write to them and get that see what information I can get, and I'll report back at the next Audit and Risk.
Thank you. I mean, we don't know if it's 1 year or 10 years, do we? Yeah. Anything else there, councillors? If not, there's the recommendation there. Councillor McMillan.
Happy to move.
Thank you. Councillor Cameron. No further questions, debate? I'll put the motion. All those in favour? Carried. Thank you. Richard. Welcome again today.
Good afternoon.
Thank you. So page 12 there, councillors. Any questions? Councillor Cameron.
Not a question. Well, I have got questions, but at this stage, it's a very small font, and I've made it as big as I can, but then I've got to move it across the screen. This type of spreadsheet would be great in a hard copy, if possible. Just a spreadsheet, because it's hard to, like I said, to get it on the page where you can move across the columns and you can see the top of the column to know what you're looking at. It's hard to see. That's my only, but I have got questions, but I'll wait.
We can ask them now. Oh, on,
Through the chair, I have nothing further to add to the report.
okay. So fire into your questions there, Councillor Cameron.
Okay, right. So my first question is, we're looking at this spreadsheet as a view to what? For further information, or as a view to reviewing the fees, or as a view for what?
Through Mr. Chair, Council asked for
Yes. Yeah.
this information to come to the Audit and Risk Committee
It did.
to enable more detailed consideration of the financial operation of the EA Network Centre. So it's here for your information and for your questioning or learning to whatever extent you want.
Righto, okay. Just for, nothing's on your radar at the moment, Richard, about any changes you want to implement, or you're happy with your fee structure? Like, there was some talk of that over lunch. You're happy with that?
Through the chair, I believe that's an item for later consideration, potentially LTP or later on.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. That's all? Okay. Mr Mayor.
Yeah, just looking at the gymnasium, when you see the income, 300 odd thousand, and the expenditure just on salaries alone, then it doesn't break even. This business looking at that, because you've got nothing left to do the running of the building, of the operation, sorry. So, don't know whether you can fix it or not, but that's the reality of it.
Sarah?
Yes, through the chair, we currently have some challenges with regards to this report, especially when you drill down into activities based on how the numbers are distributed. So that's a challenge for us to unpick and rectify so that it's a more accurate reflection, and we're looking forward to being able to give you that detail. It just hasn't occurred quite yet.
Thank you.
So Sarah, are you saying we shouldn't be trying to make decisions off this information? We should wait until there's a better, more kind of reliable sort of a format that you would give us to make decisions on? Is that what I'm hearing?
Absolutely. The data in the far right columns, the grand total, those figures are accurate. It's just when it's divided up, because there's a lot of assumptions and appropriations of the splits, and when they're not accurate, it flows through. We've got a large number of membership types, which is a conversation later on, and that makes things challenging. So it's not as easy as one would like to provide this information to you, but we will try our best.
No, I understand. It's probably good, and it might be for the later on conversation, just to understand when that information gets reformatted or reallocated, however you want to describe it, just get a few of those key assumptions as well, so we can kind of see how you've done it. That might be as useful as anything else for me for analysis.
Yep, thank you. Councillor McMillan.
Thank you. Through the chair, Richard, I've just got a question on under fixed costs for security. Why is there such a big difference in the actual and the budget?
Through the chair, we found last year we had a significant amount of our security cameras either failed, needed work, needed service outside of what was budgeted, and that we had areas of our facility, for numerous reasons, needed cameras added to, so we had to do some expenditure there to bring it up to speed. For example, the stadium had no security camera aspect over it whatsoever, and we were getting elements of vandalism and whatnot through there as well. So we've had to do some expenditure, but covering everything now.
Okay, thank you.
Any further questions? Oh, Sarah, you had a comment.
I was just wishing to comment and I guess give a bit of kudos to Richard and his team down there in terms of the operating profit dash loss. It is expected to be a negative 680 odd K, and that was not what we achieved, thank goodness, but we, just closer to a loss of 250. So that's taking into account council overheads, which, as you can see by the row above, is quite substantial. So they did really hard in hard conditions. So I'm really pleased with the result for the end of the year.
Yep, thank you and well done. Anything else there, councillors? No, if not, that brings us to the end of the open part of the meeting. Would someone like to move, please, that we go into committee? Mr Mayor, Councillor Wilson, all those in favour? Carried, thank you.